there is an absolutely massive scandal that they're trying to cover up. So this car, this EV, it caught fire here in China. All right. The firemen doused it out. But then very soon, these men came and they tried to take away the logo. They tried to cover the car up with a black tarp. It was all very fishy. They called the car owner called the police, but they couldn't be stopped. And this was, of course, ArcFox. Now, officially, ArcFox said the workers were there to take off the bonnet, to cut power, and that was their official response, even in their live stream. And it could be possible because the inside was burnt. However, what seems very, very fishy was that they not only took off the logo from the front, all right, if they were getting into the bonnet, they wouldn't have taken off the logo, but also the logo on the wheels were also taken off, and the logo on the back of the car was also taken off. So these guys were trying to clearly cover their butts. All right, they were trying to cover their butts. And who is this company? That is, of course, none other than ArcFox. Now, I filmed this ArcFox space 3 years ago, and this store has since closed long time ago, and their sales have been abysmal, just absolutely terrible. So in 2024, in March, they only sold 2,168. In April, they sold 2,326. In May, they kind of recovered 4,500. In June, things looking better, 8,001. And clearly there's some momentum, but then they got hit by this scandal. And I gotta be honest, they are pretty much a NIO wannabe. All right, a lot of things, even in the stores, the name ArcFox Space, that's a ripoff of NIO Space. A lot of the things that they do, some of the, for example, they also have a EV sports car that's clearly a copy of the EP9, and they just kind of want to be NIO, but they're not really succeeding that much. The only thing that's really helping them out are B2B sales, all right, selling to taxis, etc. But this is one of the companies that is pretty much guaranteed to not exist in the future. I mean, they are surviving right now, but their sales have been pretty darn terrible. And guys, we are entering the extinction phase of some of these companies. For example, just today it was reported that GAC NIO, formerly called GAC NIO, now called Hycan, because NIO divested themselves from this brand. It is reported that their own employees have taken on to the streets to protest about this company, complaining about everyone having to do sales, and then also there are actually no more supplies apparently. All service for the cars have stopped. Apparently management has just completely given up. There are no car parts, no car supply parts for the car owners. They need to service the car. Too bad, so sad. It's just completely gone belly up. Their sales have been terrible. From January to May, they've only sold 3,100 cars, about 600 cars per month. Just absolutely terrible. And it's not just these EV companies or these new energy vehicles companies here in China. Mitsubishi has left China. Nissan just reported 99% plunge in profits in Q2, primarily due to the fact that they had to do lots of incentives and price cuts and all that kind of stuff just to compete. And even here in China, you don't really see Nissans. They don't sell that well. I've seen so many videos of Nissan execs being let go, or they're just leaving the company because it's a sinking ship, basically. Here in China, nobody buys a Nissan anymore. Only like Ubers or DDs, these guys, they might buy a Nissan car. But apart from that, even those guys, they prefer to have a BYD. So regardless, Nissan is pretty much also going to go extinct here in China. And a lot of these companies, they'll try to sell you a story, try to sell you on tech, try to fabricate stuff, but when in reality they don't really have the level of service or the level of tech that NIO has. And these companies, they really have to rely on B2B sales or selling to secondhand dealers in bulk in order to sustain their deliveries. And just look at this store. I mean, filmed a couple years ago, but you can tell. I mean, they're trying to really copy what NIO's doing. They also have their own like sports car. Even their workers' uniforms are very similar to that of NIO's sales reps' uniforms. All right, the whole entire layout of the store very similar to NIO spaces, and then this is clearly a ripoff of the EP9. All right, NIO's EP9. They even have it in blue as well. I mean, they even copied the color. It's just a different design. Yeah, we are definitely going through that extinction phase. I mean, the EV bubble was saturated. When I made this video, all right, when I recorded this video, ArcFox store, this was when NIO stock was trading at like $60 a share. All right, you can imagine. Yeah, that was the peak of the EV bubble, but it has all come crashing down. Everything has popped. The weak companies are being wiped out. All right, this store doesn't even exist anymore. And a lot of these companies just will not survive. And ArcFox, they even copied NIO's slogan to some extent. All right, look at that. I mean, this is clearly like what NIO also does. NIO has all the trophies and everything laid out. Look, born free. NIO's slogan, born to push limits. Here they copied born free. And there's me a couple years ago. But here's another company, Innovate, right here, Innovate. And they actually are not here anymore. All right, they're extinct. These guys are extinct. And there's going to be more guys that will be wiped out, clearly. All right, some of the guys that I think will get wiped out, Fei Fan, Rising Auto, they are pretty much, yeah, they're going to get wiped out. Yeah. Also, companies like Hycan. Hycan is basically already almost dead. They're struggling super hard. They barely sell a couple hundred vehicles per month. It used to be called GAC Neo. Yeah, it was part of a NIO's joint venture, sub-brand joint venture, which is kind of crazy to think about it. But NIO pulled out of it. NIO sold its stake, which was clearly the right thing to do, because right now GAC Neo is probably worth pennies on the dollar. But you see with these cars, I mean, all of these vehicles, they have nice interior, sort of like pretty nice look, pretty nice design. They tell you they got autonomous driving, similar to Tesla. We got like screens here, screens there, massage, everything that you can possibly want in the car. They try to sell you on this, but then at the end of the day, you know, when it comes to actual tech, actual service, there's really like nothing that compares to what NIO has, and there's nothing compared to like the reputation of something like Tesla. So at the end of the day, like nobody really buys these cars, all right? Like, and the fact that nobody buys these cars means that in the future there will be less people buying these cars, which just is a terrible death cycle for these guys, all right? And this company, they're already gone. I mean, this sales rep was very friendly, and he's introducing the car and told me a lot about this car. And yeah, very soon, all right, we're in the extinction phase. But once all these guys get wiped out, that's when you're going to see a lot more sales to NIO, all right? Customers are going to be less distracted by these little guys that really you shouldn't be buying. And then people are going to be choosing more reliable companies like NIO, and that's really going to help sales out in the future. All right, as always, stay safe, stay healthy, peace out.